In nature, the sky is not always a place of safety. When a bird of prey locks onto a target, distance begins to disappear. Wings fold inward, talons extend, and the dive turns open air into pressure. Each species carries its own strategy for controlling the moment of survival. So what makes these winged hunters such a feared presence on the ground? In the natural world, birds have adapted to nearly every habitat on the planet. With more than 10,000 species, they can be found from deserts and rainforests to distant frozen regions. Among birds of prey, sharp vision allows them to lock onto targets from remarkable distances. Powerful talons and curved beaks turn every close approach into a survival advantage. Because of this, the sky is more than empty space. It is a battlefield shaped by every beat of a wing. Far more than a symbol of peaceful beaches, seagulls are also formidable opportunists in the wild. Among the larger species, wingspans reaching nearly 5 feet allow them to ride ocean winds across lakes, tidal flats, and rocky islands in search of food. Their most notable weapon is not the talons, but the strong, sharp, slightly hooked beak. Across the calm surface of a lake, a group of ducklings stays close together while feeding. But the moment one drifts away from its mother, the small bird immediately falls under observation. From above, the seagull lowers its flight, skims across the water, and delivers a swift strike. The target is lifted from the lake before the flock can regroup. This species is also known to feed on rabbits and even pigeons, revealing the precision and opportunistic instinct behind its hunting behavior. Its ability to seize the right moment is remarkably effective. At the same time, a highly flexible jaw structure allows the seagull to expand its throat to an astonishing degree. After a successful hunt, it can swallow surprisingly large prey within moments. The harshness of survival is not limited to prey alone, but also appears within the colony itself. In crowded nesting areas, some nests may sit less than 16 feet apart, turning space, food, and territory into constant sources of competition. When boundaries are crossed, seagulls spread their wings, rush forward, and drive rivals away with their beaks. Unprotected chicks can also become targets. Despite their aggressive side, seagulls still play an important ecological role. On islands such as Skomer, they hunt, scavenge leftover food, and help maintain the balance of coastal ecosystems. Hawks are among the most adaptable hunters in the sky, relying not only on strength, but also on vision, flight angles, and precise timing. From the deserts of North America to wide open grasslands, Each species has developed its own strategy to turn the skies into an advantage. In the hot, arid regions where the Harris's hawk lives, a hunt can become a rare display of coordination within the world of birds of prey. Against a fast and highly alert jackrabbit, one Harris's hawk dives low to create pressure, while others circle above to block escape routes. Eyes as sharp as binoculars track every sudden change in direction. Each wingbeat closes in like a tightening trap until the final move brings the chase across the harsh desert to an end. Across North America, the red-tailed hawk demonstrates a different hunting style. Near Mexican free-tailed bat caves, it can dive at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, weaving through zigzag flight paths to intercept targets moving rapidly through the air. It is not only a display of power, but also of calculation within a sky filled with motion. Yet hawks do not always succeed. When a marsh hawk chooses a gull as its target, speed and a sudden attack angle may provide an early advantage. Even so, the gull maintains distance, reacts aggressively, and stretches the confrontation through several tense seconds, enough to disrupt the rhythm of the attack. In nature, the side that strikes first is not always the side that prevails. Among the trees of Africa, a weaver bird's nest is more than a place to raise young. It is a structure built for survival. Some species spend around 18 days completing a nest, weaving strand after strand of grass into a hanging pouch. A narrow entrance, tangled construction, and elevated position force many predators to spend extra time trying to reach it. When a boomslang nearly 5 feet long moves toward the nest, the first advantage belongs to the snake. Its slender body, climbing ability, and silent movement allow it to approach with little warning. But the suspended design, the tight entrance, and the dense woven layers begin to slow the advance. That brief delay gives the flock enough time to return. One by one, the small birds dive downward, circle overhead, release warning calls, and apply pressure from every direction. A single weaver bird may struggle to confront a snake alone, but the flock together can force the predator to lose momentum and retreat. For the chicks, the nesting stage often lasts around 3 weeks. Every passing day becomes another test the nest must survive. For the boomslang, this turns into a dangerous day as well. Across the vast lakes of Africa and the Mediterranean region, the great white pelican appears perfectly designed for life on the water. With a wingspan approaching 10 feet, it not only glides through the sky with striking presence, but also enters the hunt through patience, coordination, and survival instinct. Its greatest advantage lies in the soft pouch beneath the bill. This expandable pouch can hold nearly 3.5 gallons of water, turning each downward scoop into a living net. When the flock forms a line across shallow water, the formation slowly begins to close in. The surface ripples, schools of fish are pushed together, and each bill opens at exactly the right moment to seize an opportunity. An adult pelican requires more than 4 pounds of fish each day to maintain its energy. Because of this, changing food conditions force the bird to rely on more than fish alone. Its bill, measuring around 15 inches long, allows it to filter water, secure prey, and even take advantage of unexpected opportunities along the shoreline while competing with smaller birds or defending feeding space. But in nature, every advantage has its limits. While focused on the movement beneath the water, the pelican can overlook the quiet activity surrounding the hunting grounds. A single brief pause is enough to change the rhythm of the hunt. And when the lake grows calm once again, the hunter that once controlled the moment quietly gives way to a larger law of the wild. Before the prey can realize that the darkness has shifted direction, the barn owl has already appeared in silence. It does not rule the night through sound. Its power lies in near total quiet, where light-sensitive eyes, refined hearing, and soft wings turn darkness into a survival advantage. Many owl species can rotate their heads about 270 degrees, expanding their field of view without revealing movement. Specialized feather structures help reduce noise during flight, allowing owls to glide through narrow spaces with remarkable precision. Within the ecosystem, they help control small rodent populations, preserving part of nature's fragile balance. But during breeding season, that instinct turns toward a different purpose. Inside a cramped nesting cavity, a mother barn owl faces a small falcon searching for shelter. With a wingspan of about 3.5 feet, she spreads her body wide, shielding the safe space behind her. The intruder moves closer. The space tightens. Each movement becomes shorter, tenser, and more precise. Then, with one decisive step forward, the balance shifts. The stranger leaves the nest, where survival never waits. Maternal instinct may be silent, but it is never weak. Across Africa, the secretary bird stands out as an unusual predator. It does not dominate the skies through sudden dives, but instead chooses the ground as its stage for survival. Standing more than 4 feet tall with a wingspan approaching 6.5 feet, this bird moves through dry grass like a patient warrior. Each day, the secretary bird travels more than 20 miles across the grasslands in search of large insects, reptiles, and small rodents. Its long legs, protected by heavy scales, not only allow it to move with endurance, but also become tools of control when danger appears. When a target is spotted, the bird does not rush forward recklessly. Its body rises tall, and the wings spread slightly for balance. Then the steps grow quicker, shorter, and more precise, steadily closing the distance. Each strike can generate force nearly 5 times its body weight, turning patience itself into strength. The attack strategy of the orcapod instantly changes the rhythm of the ocean. The target is not simply chased, but carefully redirected through a series of precise movements. Even other predators can lose their advantage when facing a pod of orcas. With coordinated attacks and remarkable intelligence, the orca turns strategy into its most powerful weapon. So who can truly escape once the entire ocean becomes a closing trap? Gray whales are often called the long-distance travelers of the ocean. Each year, they can migrate more than 10,000 miles between warmer breeding grounds and nutrient-rich feeding areas in the north. An adult can reach about 49 feet in length and weigh more than 80,000 pounds, carrying remarkable endurance for a journey across the sea. But for orcas, that migration route is not just a random flow of movement. It is a path that can be remembered across many seasons. They do not rush into action. Instead, they watch from a distance, keep their spacing, and wait until the mother and calf move into open water, where waves, currents, and fatigue begin to slow their rhythm. Off the North Pacific, especially along near-shore routes by California, the encounter often becomes a prolonged test of strategy. Orcas take turns applying pressure from different directions, cutting off the path ahead and forcing the mother and calf to change course again and again. The goal is not a reckless confrontation, but to separate the calf from the mother's protection. With experience gathered across thousands of miles of ocean, the mother whale responds with persistence. She keeps the calf close, adjusts her swimming angle, and moves toward shallower water. If she can hold that formation long enough, both may pass through the dangerous stretch of sea. In the ocean, size creates an advantage, but endurance is what keeps hope alive. In calm waters layered with fine sand, stingrays often press themselves tightly against the seafloor, blending into the ocean floor like flat shadows. Some large stingray species can grow beyond 10 feet in length and carry a sharp barb on the tail for protection. Against prey like this, the orca does not rush into unnecessary danger. It keeps its distance, circles in a wide arc, then delivers a powerful tail sweep that disrupts the sand and surrounding water. Within seconds, under the force of the shifting pressure, The stingray struggles to maintain control or remain concealed. Off the coasts of South Africa, Australia, and the Gulf of California, great white sharks do not always hold absolute dominance in cold waters. A large individual can measure about 15 feet in length, with sharp senses and impressive bursts of speed, making it a predator many animals avoid. But orcas do not rely on raw strength alone. They approach from an offset angle, disrupt the shark's swimming rhythm, and force it to change direction again and again. When the moment comes, the orca uses its body and upward force from below to turn the shark over, placing it in a temporary state of stillness. From there, the orcas control the position and target the shark's most energy-rich area. Here, the advantage does not come from violent impact, but from intelligence, the ability to read the weakness of an animal that seems to have none. In Antarctica, the Weddell seal stands as a masterpiece of adaptation. Beneath a thick, insulating layer of blubber, these seals often dive more than 1,000 feet into dark waters in search of food. After long and exhausting dives, they return to floating ice sheets, slow their breathing, and rest quietly in what seems like a safe moment of stillness. But in Antarctica, silence is never a guarantee. From beneath the icy water, black and white shadows rise almost without disturbing the surface. The orcas do not rush forward. They observe, keep their distance, study the drift of the ice, and wait for the moment when the entire group moves together. Above the surface, the seal tries to remain calm. Below, bodies weighing more than 12,000 pounds begin swimming side by side as a single formation. With only a few powerful tail strokes, the pod drives water forward into a rising wave that rolls directly toward the ice floe. The ice trembles. The seal struggles to maintain its footing as the distance to the water's edge slowly narrows. If the first wave is not enough, the orcas circle back, adjust their angle of approach, and generate additional waves. Every movement is deliberate, turning the ocean itself into part of the strategy. The wave-washing technique reveals how orca intelligence can surpass raw strength, with a success rate of nearly 75% and often requiring more than 4 waves. In the freezing ocean, they do not simply move through the sea, they turn the ocean itself into part of their survival strategy. Dolphins and orcas do not belong to two separate worlds. Biologically, the orca is the largest member of the oceanic dolphin family. But in nature, family ties do not erase the competition for survival. Smaller dolphin species have streamlined bodies, quick reflexes, and speeds that can exceed about 20 miles per hour, allowing them to skim across the waves like living arrows. That speed makes them unpredictable prey. But for some orca populations that specialize in hunting marine mammals, dolphins provide a protein-rich source of energy, forcing the entire pod to rely on intelligence rather than strength alone. Before closing in, orcas use sensitive hearing and echolocation to read movement underwater, locate the dolphin group, and identify any individual drifting out of rhythm with the others. Under the guidance of an experienced lead female, the orca formation splits into two lines. The first group spreads wide to both sides, creating a pincer formation that blocks escape routes. The other group maintains pressure from behind, forcing the dolphins to change direction again and again. When their speed loses rhythm, younger or weaker individuals are more likely to slip away from the protective formation. Once the target is isolated, a key orca accelerates from a hidden angle. The powerful rush can lift the dolphin several feet above the surface, disrupting the movement of the entire prey group. The chase ends quickly, and the food is shared among members of the pod. For orcas, hunting dolphins is not only about energy, but also a test of discipline, memory, and coordination. Across the open ocean, the humpback whale appears as a symbol of gentle strength. Reaching about 50 feet in length and weighing nearly 80,000 pounds, these whales are large enough to make most predators keep their distance. But for orcas, the weakness does not lie with the adults. It lies with the calves that still depend on their mothers. Along migration routes off Western Australia, Baja California, and parts of the tropical ocean, orcas may follow mother and calf pairs over long distances. Their strategy is not limited to cutting off the swimming path. They also disrupt breathing rhythms, block forward movement, and search for opportunities to separate the calf from the mother's side. Remarkably, some observations suggest that orcas may lift young whales closer to the surface, almost resembling the way mother whales assist calves when they need air. But during a hunting encounter, the behavior becomes a method of controlling position, disrupting the pair's rhythm, and forcing the mother whale to constantly change direction. A humpback mother is not easily overwhelmed. She uses her massive body, long fins, and persistence to shield the calf and keep it within a narrow zone of protection. The encounter can continue for extended periods, draining energy from both sides. In Patagonia, The intelligence of orcas appears through one of the ocean's boldest hunting strategies. South American sea lions often gather on sandy shores to rest, absorb warmth, raise their young, and recover energy after long feeding trips offshore. In the water, they are fast and highly agile. But on steep beaches, their reactions slow under body weight, crashing waves, and the distance back to deeper water. The orca understands that weakness well. From offshore, the pod watches the coastline as if reading a living map. The opportunity usually comes during high tide, when waves push farther onto the beach and create a brief pathway toward shore. When a sea lion loses awareness near the water's edge, the orca bursts forward at speeds approaching 30 miles per hour, using the force of the waves to surge onto the sand. Caught off guard, the sea lion quickly loses its advantage against the orca's massive size and remarkably precise angle of approach. Moments later, the orca uses the strength of its tail and body to pivot back toward deeper water, avoiding the danger of remaining stranded for too long. This is known as intentional stranding, a rare technique passed down through generations of orcas. For them, hunting is not driven by instinct alone, but also by memory and the inheritance of the ocean. The winged hunters leave the chase behind, leaving pressure hanging from above. Each dive reveals how precise instinct can change an entire moment. In nature, survival belongs to the one that reads the situation faster than the rival. If you would like to continue exploring the true stories of the wild, be sure to like and subscribe. Across the distant sky, drifting wings still quietly lead the way toward the next hunt.